Alrighty, so in this video tutorial, we're going to cover the hands. So hands are kind of an annoyance. Obviously, to model and stuff. Ooh, oops, didn't mean to do that. Obviously, to model and stuff, they're annoying as well. But they actually kind of suck too, just because it's a lot of joints to control, right? And you can, you can do quite a bit of things with your hands. Generally, when you have a character, they're interacting with things with their hands. They have to make contact with things with their hands. They can make a lot of different shapes. We obviously communicate with our hands to a large extent, depending on how Italian you are. So there's quite a bit that goes into it. So you can make a really robust hand rig. We're going to do kind of a simple thing that's going to basically try to make it a bit simpler to work with. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use what's called set-driven keys. All right, so what I want to do is check my phone, and then we're gonna basically add some things here. Okay, so we'll do both of them at the same time. We're gonna add attributes that basically is gonna allow us to control our hand joints here. Okay, so just like we did when we did the we added some attributes to this for the foot roll and all that. So select both wrist controllers. We're just going to attach it there. You can make it a separate controller if you want. I'm just going to do it on here because why not? So you're going to go here and then edit and add attribute. And we need to add a couple here. So we will do, let's see. How do we want to go this? Let's start with the pinky. So we'll go pinky, curl. Okay. So we'll do pinky curl. For the most part, your hands, you can do some other things with them, but for the most part, typically, it's just curl for your fingers. Okay, so we're going to do pinky curl. We'll make it a float, and then we are actually going to do a minimum and a maximum. So let's just do, for the minimum, let's do -10, and the maximum, let's do 10. Okay, and we are going to do that for all of them. So hit add, and you'll see we'll have pinky curl. Now let's do ring curl, and again -10. Wish I would hang on to these, and then add, and then middle curl, -10, and you'll see why we're doing -10 and 10 in a second. But and then index curl, so -10, 10, and add, and then we'll do thumb curl, and then we'll do -10 and 10, and add, and then we'll do thumb roll, and we'll do -10, 10, and then we'll do thumb, how do I want to put that? Not roll, but let me see, we did curl, roll, and we'll call it shift. I don't think that's what I want to call it, but we'll just call it shift. And same thing, -10 and 10, and add and close. Okay. Oh, whoops, I want to add another one too. Sorry, add it, add another attribute, and we're going to do fist. And we will again do -10 and 10, and add, and now close. Okay, and you're going to see how this works out. Works in a second. Now we do have to do each one of these separately, unfortunately. So I'm going to do one hand, and you just follow the exact same process. You can just watch the video again to do the other. So we're going to use set-driven keys. So it's going to be a little. Let's have nothing selected. And then you're going to go, make sure on rigging, and then we're going to go to, let's see, where did they put it? They move things around a bit. Deform, constrain, control, let's see, no, this might be underneath animation. Let's do key, set driven keys, and then hit the option box. So set, option box. Okay, so you're gonna have a driver and then you're gonna have driven. So it's kind of like the connection editor, but a little bit different. So on the driver, you want to select the controller and then load as driver. Okay, and then we're gonna do the pinky first, and then we'll do the other ones. So then to load the driven, I'm gonna select this one, and then I hit Q. So I just had to select, so I don't have the manipulators in the way because they're kind of annoying. So Q, and I'm just gonna hold Control and click on this one, and then click on this one. Okay, and then load driven, and it only did the one. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, hold shift, I guess. So click on one, hold shift, click, and then load driven. Okay, so I want all 3 joints here. Okay, so you're gonna just go ahead and click and drag. So this is gonna drive all 3 of these, but you have to tell it what to specifically, right? So just again, like the connection editor, so I want to do pinky curl of this. It's going to drive, and in this case, it's my Z, my rotate Z's. So go to rotate Z, and right now, when I look at my wrist controller, pinky, you'll see it's at 0. So at 0, I want it to be like this. This looks fine. You're gonna hit key. So at 0, the pinky will look like this. Now what you're gonna do is you're going to take the pinky curl and you're going to type in 10, because that's the max number that can go. Watch, if I try to type in 20, it's just going to go to 10. It can't go any higher. Then I'm going to click and drag all 3 of these. I'm doing it this way because it's easier than trying to grab them here. And then you're just going to rotate them like so. Now I would just type in, it's better to overdrive it to have too many. I'm going to type in here, I'm just doing -90, okay? Because that will get me pretty far in. Obviously that's more than what I need, but that way it'll really curl, okay? So we said at 10, these, -90, and then key. So now if I go back here, you can see if I take this and go to 0 to 10, we're basically keying these positions, okay? Now go to -10 on this now, -10. Click and drag across these so you have all 3 selected. It's the same thing as clicking on here. It's just easier to do it this way. And then on this Z, type in 90 so it goes the opposite direction. And then hit key. And you'll be like, why would we ever want the hand to do that? And you're right. Why would you? I agree. So now if we click and drag from -10 to 10, we get this. Okay? And that's what we're after. Okay, good. So that looks pretty good. That one's now done. I'm just going to 0 that out so I don't have to worry about it. All right, now what I want to do is do the ring. So to do the ring, I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to hit Q so I don't have the controller up there. And then hold Shift, click, and click. We don't need this last one. Leave the end joint alone. And then go ahead and click on Load Driven. Click and drag across those. Again, it's going to be the Rotate Z because we're just worried about the curl. And make sure you switch it here too to ring curl. So at 0 and everything, this is how I want to look. So I'm going to hit Key. Boom. Now what I'm going to do is go to this one. Type in 10, click and drag across all these, and I'm going to type in -90. It's just easier than manually rotating it, and hit key. Go back here, type in -10 now, click and drag across these, and I'm just going to type in 90, enter, and key. So again, now if I go here, if I take this and I go this way, minus there to positive, okay? And I'm going to do that on the rest of them too. So I'm going to 0 this guy back out. And I want to click on these. I'm going to click on this one, holding Shift, click, and click. So I have these 3. Load driven. All right. And the thing I want to drive is the rotates. And it's the middle key. Click on this. And let's do 10. And then I'm going to click and drag across these. And I already know it's -90. And then I will key, click on this, and let's do -10. Click and drag across these, and do 90, and key. And let's go here and just make sure this is looking right. Good. Yep. Okay. Let's 0 that out. And now we're going to do the index. So click on this, holding Shift, click, click, and load driven. Click and drag across, rotate Z, switch it to index, and key. So at 0 position, that's what it looks like. Click on this, and we're going to say, okay, let's switch this to the 10 position. Click and drag, minus 90. Now, if your hands are all messed up, you might have to manually position these. And then you'd have to do all of them, but we're not going to do all of them. So we'll hit key. Going to go here and do minus 10, minus 10. Click and drag, and 90, and key. And let's just zero this out. All right, now let's do the thumb curl. Oh. So I'm going to select the thumb joints here. So click and click. And load driven. It's just 2 on this one, which is not right. I didn't make enough joints, but that's fine. And this is going to be thumb curl. And I'm going to do rotate Z and key. Okay. And then thumb curl. Let's do boom, 10. Grab these. And we will do minus 90 and key. And let's do minus 10. And these. Come on. These. And this will be 90. Okay. Key. And good. So let's zero that out so that's not weird. Okay. Now we're going to do thumb roll. Click on thumb roll, and then it's going to be rotate X this time. And key. And I'm going to take my thumb roll. Type in 10. Select these, and I do not know which way. I'm going to hit E, and let's say, which way? Well, we'll go this way. So we'll say 90. Enter. And I know we don't really need it, but you'll see it'll make sense later. Okay, and then we'll key. And then minus 10. And I'm on rotate X, and that will be minus 90. I think I did 90 last time, right? And key. Good. And now let's zero this out. So I'm not dealing with that anymore. And let's do thumb shift. So thumb shift, and that's going to be the rotate Y. And key. And then, oops, select the thumb shift and do 10. And select these. And let's say we'll do this way. So 90. And key. And then let's go back to thumb shift. Minus 10. And then this is going to be 90. I'm sorry, minus 90. Minus 90. Okay. And key. And we'll zero that out. Okay. And now we're going to do the fist. So fist is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to select the fist. And then I'm going to select this one. Hold shift. Click. 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 Load driven. Okay. Good. Then select fist, click and drag across all of them, and we're just going to go ahead and click on all the rotates. Okay, that way I can just make sure that it's a perfectly good fist. So at 0, I want it to look like this, and we'll hit key. Okay, then I'm going to take fist, let's make it 10. And then I'm going to take these and basically try to make a fist. So I'm just going to go ahead and manually do it. So we'll rotate these in, that's about right. Let's hit the down arrow. Rotate this in, and then see, like this, I'd like to be back a little bit, and then I'm going to grab the last ones, and we will rotate these in. Okay, and then this, we're going to go kind of like this, we'll say. And then we'll go down, and then this, like that. We'll say that looks like a fist. And then we will key. And then I'm going to go back to fist and type in minus 10. And we're just going to kind of do the opposite. So select all of these. We'll just E to rotate, and we're just going to kind of go back like this. Take this guy and I guess go back like that. Alright. And key. Okay. And we'll zero that out. So what's nice about this is that now I can select this pinky curl, and when how they do it now. So I can curl just this one, right? I can grab the ring curl and curl that one. You can grab a bunch of them and curl all of them. Will that work or no? Ugh. So curl a bunch of them or not. So anyway, I can just take them all and type in 10. Boom. Okay. Now he's doing that stupid, whatever that thing's called. But we could also do, like, let's say fist, right? Take fist, make a fist. So that's a nice quick thing, and having to go to each one of these and make it work. That's the idea behind it. And you can have a bunch of different ones. Like this would be, like, let's say you're going to do an animation and someone who is not able to speak, like they speak through sign language, right? You could totally have them, you could have a bunch of these, each pre-made positions for different hand signals for the different alphabet or whatever the sign language that you're going to make, right? Instead of having to manually animate each one. I see some characters, like I saw a Batman rig, and basically they had one for like fists and stuff, and they had one for like holding the Batarang. And it was just so the hand would hold it in a specific position. Like you could have one set up, like let's say you're doing a game character and they have a gun that they shoot. You could have one for gun position. You could do all sorts of different positions, and they don't have to counteract. But watch, so I did a fist. Let's say I wanted that I don't like the person he's looking at. Remember how I did negative for this? I can pull this out now. That's why we put the negative numbers in there. So now it's possible to undo. Let's zero that out. And I could take like the pinky and have the pinky, go out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we did the zero, like why we did negative tens. And if I wanted to maybe affect the thumb in some way, I could pull this, pull this back and then figure it out through this, how to make it, I could have them do a thumbs up, right? So you can see that's why we did all of these. I'll zero them all out. But that's why we did multiple ones. So if you want to do more than this, like have different hand positions that you might think that you might need, like maybe one that holds a cup, like maybe your character's going to hold a cup, that's the kind of thing that you could do, and they're basically just keyed positions, which is nice. But that's basically how you rig a hand. So you're just going to do that again on this hand, okay? So you got to do it twice, which I know stinks, but that's why people use auto rigs. There's a lot of like repetition. And whenever something is repeated, it's something that a computer can do relatively easily. Okay, so rig the other hand, and then you should be good to go for the week. That's all we're going to do this week, and then next week we'll probably finish up. We'll finish this up. We'll make like a master controller on the bottom, and get this all basically in one hierarchy, and just clean up the rig in general. Maybe do blend shapes, and maybe do weight painting. I think are the last two things besides that. All right. Okay. Good luck.